And we're live. We're live with Bogey Biker. What's up, Jack? How you doing, bud?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. I'm finally thawed out from my camping trip, and it's a beautiful 70 degrees here today in Texas. So I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Dude, if I was any better, I'd be twins. I
Yeah.
have you on my channel. I'm so honored to have you here, bud. This is great.
Man,
I
it's
want to
my pleasure.
shout out to HDAV Traveler in the side chat, Charlie Z, Terry, and Carol's Tank to Tank Adventures. Thank you so much for joining early. Y'all are awesome. Corey, what's happening? There's Travis, My Done Life. We got people crawling
showing
into
up.
the side chat.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I mean, Charlie, ridden with Charlie. I've ridden with Terry and Carol. Tried to ride with Jack, HD Traveler. If he was on time, I would have ridden with him. There's old Ty from Tennessee.
What's up, Ty?
Yeah.
I got a funny story about Ty. Before we get started, I got a funny story about Ty. He's from Tennessee, and I met this doctor lady recently that was looking at my kid, and I was talking to her for about 5 minutes, and I turned to her and I said, "Are you from West Tennessee or East Texas?" And she said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, your accent puts you at one of those two spots." And she was like, "Well, I'm from West Tennessee, and I'm amazed that you picked it out. Like, how the hell did you do that?"
Yeah, I see. I'm good at that too. I can tell you're from Maryland. You have that Maryland, whatever that thing is, or somewhere around there, right? I mean, I know you're. That's where you grew up.
Yeah, you can hear my low IQ.
Yeah. But
so you thought out. You thought out from your camping trip. When is part dropping? Did I miss it?
Part 3's on Monday. Yep.
Part 3's on Monday.
The finale will be on Monday. Yep.
So I got to catch up. I've spent the whole week like editing videos and recording. So now part 1 is where you guys started camping. And if anybody hasn't seen this, I'm going to try to find a link and post it in the side chat.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jack here is going on an adventure. He's got a bunch of friends, and they're all camping in the freezing cold. This is crazy. Yes, Travis, I will post a link to the channel as soon as I can type it in.
Yeah, I think Jarvis Wayne's comment on part 2 at the end was part 3, because I'm building the drama here, and it's not really manufactured because we were camping and it was 23 degrees outside. Not smart.
Yeah, that's nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and post this in the side chat. This is Bogey Biker's channel. If you haven't seen Jack's videos, they are something else, because on this side of the live stream, you've got a guy with like 17 cameras rolling and all the fancy editing, and I use a computer with 1.21 gigawatts of power. And then over there, you got a guy that edits on his phone and uses one GoPro and sometimes his phone, which I think is a Nokia circa 1998. Am I wrong?
No, you're wrong about that. No, it's an iPhone.
Oh, you have an iPhone. Oh, excuse me. My apologies.
What do you have? Like a Harbor Freight phone? There's a couple rusty bolts that have Samsungs, and we call them Harbor Freight phones because you can't text right, you can't send videos, and so we make fun of Harbor Freight phones all the time.
Oh, that is hilarious. Jarvis, what do you got going on? Hold on. Jarvis has YouTube frustration.
I think it's with my I've made 3 parts out of this and building up the drama, and he said I don't know if that's what he's referring to there, but
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say, you're doing a hell of a job. I mean, you've got the hook, you've got the intro, and you've got all the interaction. And I think those are the 3 pillars of YouTube motovlogs right there. And I'm just astounded.
Well, I like I said before I started doing this, I'd never commented on a YouTube video. I'd never liked it. I would watch some, and I knew nothing about YouTube, and I still really don't. I just know what I like, and so I'm not ashamed to say, like, I tell people like Thrash and Supply. I enjoy watching thrashing, so I take some bits from what they do. I enjoy $1 Million Bogan. He gets slammed a lot for the extra drama that he builds, but I've copied some of that style. The common theme with both of those guys is they use one GoPro on the same clamp and everything, and that's it. Of course, Thrashing has a team of editors, but so I just kind of copy and what I like, or I know what I like, and then I kind of make it my own. I had no expectation that people were going to be interested in what we're doing. We're just a bunch of rednecks from Texas that literally I just film what we do. The only scene we've ever set up, and that might have been John before you started watching. It's known as the CPAP machine and the CPAP scene because most of the Rusty Bolts sleep with CPAP machines. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see this?
Yeah, I know what a CPAP is.
But you don't know what I'm talking about as far as the scene on our show. So a year ago, we went and rode the Twisted Sisters before we did the ride. So in 2023, fall of 2023. And we were staying in the house, and there's like 5 or 6 of us. And 4 of those guys sleep with CPAP machines. So the night before we're going to leave, my brother, who should have been on Saturday Night Live, he's funnier than he can do Will Ferrell doing Will Ferrell better than he can. He said, Jack, we got to do something with these CPAP machines. And as soon as he said it, I said, I got it. So the next morning, those guys got up, and I said, y'all go get back in. Yeah, prayers for Toby. We'll talk about that in a second. I said, y'all go get back in bed and put your CPAP machines on. I'm just going to film you. So I filmed them taking their CPAP machines off, masks off. Anyway, I spliced that I playing some dramatic music on the last part of us leaving, going home. And it's dramatic music of them taking their CPAP mask off and then putting their motorcycle helmets on and then us riding into the mountains. And it's the funniest 2 minutes on YouTube, in my opinion. And so if you haven't seen that, you got to go check it out. But anyway.
All right. How can I find this video?
It is, let me see, I'm going to see what it's called. It was about a year ago. You can go to my playlists, and it's the first playlist called The 3 Twisted Sisters, and it's part 4 of that. You see where I'm sitting on that motorcycle playlist.
Laugh out loud.
Yes. Something drama to laugh out loud funny or something like that.
Cool. I am going to post that for anybody that's in the side chat.
No. We all make fun of ourselves a lot. So we were making fun of the CPAPers, we call them.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So the reason I brought that up was that's the only thing I think we've ever scripted. I'm just filming what we're doing. And then, you're a lot more about this editing stuff, how you can take raw footage of nothing almost. And when you cut it up the right way and you add a little music and all the stuff, it makes it interesting. That's the funnest part to me.
That was me last Saturday. I went to the Harley dealer for their 2025 reveal, and I took my kids with me. So here I am. And since I'm going to mention it, I'm going to pick it up and show it to the camera because I always like to show my Canon off. I'm very proud of this. But I took this camera with me to the Harley dealer. This like $3,000 4.5 pound lug, right?
Yeah.
And I filmed, no kidding, I filmed 5 minutes of footage and took like 30 pictures or something. And then I wanted to talk to the sales manager, and I got to catch up with the guy. I walk in and he goes, John. And I was like, who are you? And he's like, we met 2 years ago or 3 years ago when you were just starting out on your YouTube channel. And I was like, right, well, let's catch up then. So I handed this to my 8-year-old and said, go take pictures. Don't break it. I got them back. And they did a pretty good job. They didn't break the camera. They changed a bunch of settings, but as long as they didn't break it, I don't care. And they actually took 2 or 3. What's up, Des? They actually took 2 or 3 pictures that in my little short 2.5 minute video.
Yeah. Are you going to post those pictures?
The pictures are in the video I posted last Sunday.
Okay, yeah. See, John's got $3,000 cameras on his shelf behind him, and I got bourbon. Anyway,
I too have bourbon. If it weren't for censors, I would have called this bourbon with Bogey tonight. But hey, cheers,
cheers, man. Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure I can't believe it. This is the 3rd live show I've done this week. One of them was my own, but I was on a live show a couple days ago, and so it's kind of crazy to be.
Dude, you're making the rounds. You're the up and coming big hit moto vlogger. You really are. You started what, 2 years ago?
It'll be 2 years in May, so just a little over a year and a half ago. Dude, I think May of 23 was the first video that I posted. Yeah, and it was terrible.
You're absolutely crushing it. It just no sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got over 3,000 subscribers, and you're up to what, 300 videos or something like that?
No, I think it's like 180 videos. I don't,
It is 180.
yeah,
Yeah, I've got his channel up on a side window. 180 videos, 3,140 some subscribers. That is really good. I commend you for that.
It's fun. I said on another show that before I started doing this, I would see a channel and they would have 3,000 subscribers. I'm like, well, golly, this guy must suck. He's only got 3,000 subscribers. I'm not going to watch him. And then you start doing this and realize what it takes to get people to subscribe. I'll get well, on some of these last few videos, I've gotten 6,000 or 7,000 views on some of these, and you would think, okay, well then all those people are subscribing, but no, almost everybody, it's like 70% of the people that watch don't subscribe. So anyway, the frustration with all that was something that I had no clue about, and didn't know that just because you only have 3,000 subscribers or 300 subscribers, it doesn't mean it's not a good channel. It just means it's just very difficult to figure all this stuff out. So.
It's the reach, man. Look, there's 3 components to earning the click, right? The title, the thumbnail, and the description.
Yes.
After you get the click, which you obviously got, then it's how do you keep them watching? And that can be just as hard, but you got to earn that click, and you're doing a great job of it.
Well, I think you were on when I was on the content creators deal the other night. And I think you were on when Justin James was on there, and he said the thumbnail doesn't matter. I just take a screenshot of it, and he doesn't even put any words on there. And I completely disagree. Now, if I was Justin James and people knew me for other reasons, maybe that's the case because people are going to watch his videos. But to me, the thumbnail, I spend more time, especially the last 6 months, on that thumbnail and that title. I really try to make that, I think about what catches my eye when I'm scrolling through, but it has to be, it can't be clickbait, but it needs to be kind of, you got to deliver on it, and you don't want to be overly dramatic. I see some that I get kind of turned off if it's too clickbaity, there's just such a fine line. I don't know how to describe it, and it just had no clue about any of that stuff before.
I can boil down what you're thinking about thumbnails with this: generating curiosity without lying.
Yeah.
That's the key to it. And I think the big YouTube channels, they don't play by the same rules as us smaller channels because they have a built-in audience that's going to watch the video. And YouTube's algorithm works by finding content that a viewer might like.
Yeah.
So it's not about pushing your video out to everybody. It's about finding the people that want to watch your content. And they know if they watch Bogey Biker content, they're going to like X, Y, and Z content. So that's how you get that sharing going around. But then when the bigs come along, they've got this 1 million subscriber or 100,000 built-in subscribers that are going to watch. And YouTube says, oh, well, these kind of subscribers like this kind of content. So let's wax on, wax off. And we make a Karate Kid reference 12 minutes into the video.
But let's not go down that rabbit hole. I love Cobra Kai is one of my favorite shows.
Just don't forget, sweep the leg, Johnny.
Sweep the leg, sweep the leg. So how old are you, John? Do you publicly say how old you are?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I'm an oxygenarian in a younger body.
Okay.
I found out this week that I'm going to get hearing aids later this year.
Oh, nice. I probably need them.
Huh?
That's why I probably need. Yeah. What? I probably need them. I just don't go to the ear doctor. Brian Gregg is one. I call him one of the Oklahoma boys. We met them down at the Twisted Sisters. They rode down from Oklahoma. He's making fun of my hairdo. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here.
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Looked like Blake Shelton if he got ravaged by bees and swole up and was allergic or something.
Oh, look at that. Dez is out riding. Ooh, must be nice. It's pouring down rain here and 40 degrees.
Ooh.
So, what do you ride?
I have two two motorcycles. I have a 2016 Road King that I'm trying to turn it into I'm calling it a big dude Dyna or a fat dude Dyna, or I don't even know if that's the right term, but I'm making it look less like a Road King and more like a Dyna. I've got well, there's a couple videos coming out next week on what I've done, but yeah, so that was the first motorcycle that I ever bought. And then I also have a 2021 Road Glide Limited.
Oh, so you and Jarvis get along great. And I only
me and Jarvis have the same year model bike and the same color bike. Mine's had some it's different badging and stuff, but yeah, it's the same motorcycle that Wayne has.
It's a great bike. I love it.
I want to know, are you part of the Shark Nation now? I saw, you test rode a Road Glide, and I know you're a pretty staunch Street Glide guy.
I test rode it.
Yeah.
That video came out yesterday, and it's doing pretty well. It's a very compelling bike, but I don't know what the cost of it, because it's not exactly cheap. And my sugar mama, her wallet's not exactly open to me anymore. So time will tell.
I think for a fair, I've never ridden the new style Street Glide or Road Glide. So you probably should, if you're really considering, you probably should ride a pre-new one Road Glide and see how that compares to you got a 2019 Street Glide. So, the new models are altogether different, I've heard, and lower center of gravity, and everybody says they feel great.
Well, that's what I experienced with the Road Glide. I felt like it was like all the weight was down by my feet, whereas my bike, the weight feels like it's up in my hands. So it was a good comparison. I will tell you, I sat on the Road Glide and I sat on the Street Glide, and as much as I love Street Glides, I really feel like they brought the bars down lower on the 24s. So I kind of like where those bars were on the Road Glide. They were pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Jarvis, flyer with alcohol. She doesn't drink, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to stay out of the Harley dealers, because I hear they're making deals on the 24s, and I just don't need a deal to be put in front of me, or I may be trading. So dude, I have no reason to trade. Motorcycles. I'm keeping my Road King that I'm doing this project on, and my Road Glide is just perfect, but.
Oh man. How many miles you got on the Road Glide now?
22,000 or something like that.
Oh, it's just getting broke in.
Yeah. I bought it last year with like 4,000 miles on it. So I don't know how many miles I put on last year, but we ride a lot. We can ride just almost year round. There are days here and there, but so yeah, we ride. Did you see any of that snow last week in Texas? We got people north of us and people south of us got it, but we missed all of it. So what part of Texas are you in then? It's called the heart of Texas. So it's close to center, basically the middle of Texas, right between Dallas and Austin. If you know kind of where those are, we're dead center in the middle of those two. Okay. So you probably have a little bit of a heat island effect, because I live just north of DC, and we'll see thunderstorms roll through and snowstorms, and it'll literally go around DC. The heat pushes the jet stream or whatever away from the city. Well, there's a SpaceX testing facility 20 miles from my house. And NBA Rider, what's up, bud? So if you hear my house start shaking like we're having an earthquake, you won't hear it now, but it happens some. It's them testing rockets. And the farmers around here, every time we don't get rain when we're supposed to, will say it's the SpaceX split, where the weather comes and it splits around SpaceX. Yeah. So they believe that, though. They certainly believe it. You know what? I'd swear it's a real thing. Yeah. Call me crazy, but I watch the weather map, and these storms just go right around where I live because I'm too close to DC. And I'm like, even the storms don't want to go there. Can't blame them. Yeah. We don't talk politics on this channel, just FYI. But
I don't like going to DC just because there's a lot of reasons. But
Richmond, north of Richmond, yeah. I try to stay away. I try to stay away from, there's I mentioned a few things here and there, but yeah, that's kind of why I came to YouTube. Is I can't stand listening to all that stuff. My blood pressure spikes. So yeah, I'm good with not talking politics.
Same thing, bud. I'm like, I'm going to actively avoid it. And now it follows me. There's a bunch of people that are flipping to doing political channels. And I'm like, boop, not going to watch that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to watch motorcycle content. I want to see some jackass riding along on their Harley Davidson talking about whatever's on their mind.
Coffee.
I do watch a lot of myself. I do watch a lot of myself because I have to edit. It takes forever. But for those of you that don't know, that are from my crowd that may not know Jack, he edits on his phone, and he doesn't do audio and video processing like I do or any of that stuff. So I don't know why I bother. I'm wasting my time trying to compete with you.
No, you got more subscribers than I do.
Yeah, but it took me 3 times as long to do it. Hey, what's up? There's Dewey Rides. Yeah, I've been at it 4.5 years, man. And my big claim to fame is the first video I put on YouTube was me fixing my lawnmower. And it has like 276,000 views and almost over 800 subscribers now. Isn't
that crazy? Because there's probably more a bigger audience for lawnmower fixing than there is motorcycle. I mean, if you really want to have a big channel, motorcycles is not really where you should be, right?
No.
I mean, Pro Monkey said it best I'm not sure where he was when he said it, but he said, if you really want subscribers, just like go to a house off grid and don't say anything and just start building a house or something. And, millions of people will watch that.
Yeah.
They're fixing a lawnmower. Yeah. So is that what when you started, is that what you were you going to be a fix channel?
No, absolutely not. My goal when I started was to share my rides with whoever wanted to watch. And here's how little I knew. I bought the Hero 8 that I'm using as a webcam here, and I bought a helmet side mount, and I stuck it to my helmet, and I went for a ride, and I thought I was going to get good audio and video.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had never touched an editing software package before outside of like 10 minutes using iMovie. And I very quickly realized I was in over my head. So a friend of mine had taught me how to fix my mower, and I wanted to remember it. So I figured, well, what the hell? I'll just take the Hero 8 out there and set it on the little tripod and record me fixing the lawnmower and see if I can edit a video. And that way I can remember how to do it. So I did. And 4.5 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
But I still haven't lost my knack of recording just about anything, because my glasses had a problem a few months ago, and I recorded me removing the anti-reflective coating off of it at 2:00 in the morning on a Saturday. It was hilarious. But we have a question. Hey, Jose Tierna. I butchered that one. Sorry. Hello. How are you?
Hey, Arena. He lives not far from us and rode down with us to the Twisted Sisters. So yeah, there are a lot of Texas folks in there. Go ahead.
JVZ wants to know about the camping trip. I don't know what about the camping trip, but part 3 is going to come out Monday, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So ask him about Yeah, JBZ, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but yeah, part 3, the finale comes out on Monday. We went camping, for those of you who don't know, motorcycle camping last weekend. And it was the last night. It was 23 degrees Fahrenheit. In case Wayne can't do the conversion, that's cold. 23 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't speak Canadian. I don't know. And so, yeah, there's lots of we got a kick out of. Everybody thought we were crazy or stupid, and they're probably right. But I wouldn't have done it. And I mentioned this on part 2. I think if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I probably would have said, "Hey guys, let's not go." Because the weather wasn't supposed to be that way, and when it changed, I probably would have just said, "Nah, let's go another time." But I thought, this is going to make for some pretty good footage, so we did.
Oh, you've been bitten by the bug, man. You're you're getting addicted to being a content creator.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because I have quick Google foo, 23 degrees Fahrenheit is -5 Celsius.
Okay. There you go.
That is cold. Jarvis agrees with the cold.
Yeah. Now Jarvis can understand how cold it was.
Yeah, you said you did the camping trip for partially because you thought it would make good content. I don't think you were watching then. You weren't on YouTube yet, but I had a really bad case of the gout a couple of years ago, and it was in my left foot.
Been there, done that.
What do we do with our left foot on a motorbike? We're shifting gears, right?
Oh,
I still rode every day that week.
Well, I've had gout in my left foot, and if you rode a motorcycle, you are a tougher man than me. I couldn't get out of the bed to go take a leak. Like that's the worst. That's the worst ever.
So here's the funny thing, Jack. Here's the funny thing. I had the heel shifter on the Street Glide, and I found that lacing up my motorcycle boot, while intensely painful, once it was laced up, it held everything in place and it prevented the swelling from hurting as much. And the Harley vibration actually made my foot feel a little bit better. When I had to put my left foot down, that sucked. And I almost dropped my bike in a parking lot because I went shopping. But I would literally walk out to the trailer with my orthopedic boot on and get the bike out of the trailer, put my motorcycle boot on, and then go for the ride. Because I called work and I said, I got the gout. I can't come in today. And they were like, we need to see a doctor's note before you come back to work. And I was like, but I can telework. And they're like, doesn't matter. I was like, okay, I'm taking the week off to go ride then. Bye.
I don't know how you did. Well, I woke up with the gout not knowing. I didn't even think the gout was something people even got anymore. I thought it was something like the king of England. Like I didn't even know that it was something that people still got. I went to bed perfectly normal one night and woke up and thought somebody's come in here and broke my foot with a sledgehammer. Like, what? This is, or maybe I was sleepwalking and I broke my, like something is, I didn't even know it was the gout. My kids are asleep in their bed. I'm trying to call them to come help me out of bed, and they're not answering their phone because they're kids. And anyway, yeah, it was a whole deal for me. But I didn't know the gout was even something people still got. But
the rich man's disease.
Yeah,
I'm on a medication now. I have to take a daily pill to keep it at bay.
Oh, allopurinol. I'm sure. Same here. Yeah.
Yep. You know what? All that other stuff stopped working.
Yeah.
They ended up putting me on prednisone last time, and I had to take 2 weeks of it to get rid of the gout flare up. But it's bad. Like for anybody that doesn't have the gout or hasn't experienced it, imagine the most painful thing you've had happen in your life, and now it's caused by the thin bed sheet just draped over your foot. And I don't wish it on anybody. Not even Road Glide Andy, who's in the side chat. Hi, Road Glide Andy.
Hey, Road Glide Andy. Yeah, no, it's making my eyes water thinking about it. I'll quit taking the allopurinol. I used to thinking, well, I don't need this. I'm over it. And then like a week later, I start feeling it in my foot, and then I start freebasing allopurinol, try to get it back. Whatever that. I don't even know how you freebase something. I've just heard the term, but yeah, just like I don't want it anymore. So I just take that medicine. I hate having to take medicine every day, but I don't want that.
Hey, I'm all for it. Better living through chemicals. Speaking of which, cheers to you again, buddy.
Yeah. Well, since you're smoking, I'm a redneck, so I'm gonna get a dip of snuff.
That's okay.
Smoking cigar. Are you in like a garage, or are you smoking cigars in your house, or do you have a separate place, or what do you do?
So this is the porch on the back of the house that when we moved in was screened in. And then when my wife got pregnant with our eldest, she goes, you can't smoke in the house anymore. And I said, okay. So we glassed it in, and I have a window unit air conditioner off that way and a space heater right next to me. And it's a balmy 65 degrees in here tonight. So I'm living the high life.
My buddy has got a little building that it's a cigar kind of man cave. And he put one of those, it's not, there's a commercial filtration systems that the cigar places have or whatever. There's one for your house. And I'm telling you, you cannot tell that he smokes cigars in this place. And it's an insulated metal building
Wow.
with wooden walls and in couches, and there is not a hint of cigar smoke in there. So
That's phenomenal. I just have an exhaust fan over here that draws it out eventually.
yeah.
So how long have you been riding motorcycles?
2 years ago today, I'd never ridden a motorcycle in my life.
Really?
Well, that's not true. That's not true. In the early 2000s, I've wanted a motorcycle my whole life and always made excuses. And I tell people the answer probably is I was making excuses because I was scared. It was when my kids were little. I was going to buy a Honda Shadow from a coworker because I wanted a motorcycle. I travel all over the country for work. Well, all over North, Central, and South America for work. I used to, and I've stopped at every Harley dealer there is, looking at motorcycles, and always wanted one, but always made an excuse. And yeah, so, but 2 years ago, and that's a whole story. I don't know if you want to get into that, but yeah, 2 years ago, I decided to do it, and you know, the best story I tell is 2 years ago I'd never ridden a motorcycle, and this year, into 2024, I rode the biggest Harley Davidson that they make, 1,000-pound Road Glide Limited, to Sturgis. Walked in the largest motorcycle bar in the world that I know of, the Full Throttle Saloon, and grown men are getting out of their chair to come take a picture with me and say hi because they see me on YouTube. And 2 years ago, I'd never ridden a, you know what I mean? It's just insanity how far that's gone, you know, from somebody who's never ridden a motorcycle in their life 2 years ago. So
that's wild. I mean, it's the power of social media.
Yeah. But the thought of riding a 1,000-pound motorcycle to Sturgis from Texas 2 years ago was just unthinkable. Because I remember looking at these bikes going, man, these things are big and heavy. How do people ride these things? You know, just, I don't know. I guess I put my big boy pants on, and then you realize it's not that hard, and it's the funnest thing in the world to do. I used to play golf all the time. I don't get near as pissed off riding a motorcycle as I do playing golf. I don't get pissed off at all riding a motorcycle.
Dude, I can totally relate. I haven't picked up a club in 4 years because all I've been doing is riding around on my motorbikes and having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the pretty days, you've got choice. You got two choices. If you're a golfer and you ride a motorcycle, which one are you going to do? And I just choose to ride a motorcycle.
They do make golf club caddies for motorcycles.
We built one. We call it the Bogey Biker Bag Boy. We took a removable tour pack bracket, you know, that you mount to a tour pack, and we bought an industrial wire shelf that's lightweight but the size of a golf bag, like 3 feet. It basically sticks out as wide as your road pegs, and we mount it to that where you snap it in where your tour pack would go. You put your golf clubs down, take your rock straps, and go. And we went to a pretty nice golf course, and we pulled up on our motorcycles to the guard shack there, and this lady comes out. She goes, "Are you kidding me?" I go, "Nope." She goes, "Are y'all here to play golf?" I said, "What do you think the golf clubs are?" She goes, "Okay." Every golfer in that parking lot came out and talked to us and wanted to see what it was. And if I was a smarter entrepreneur, I would turn that into something, but I just haven't done anything with it. But yeah, it works great. I've seen the ones that stand up kind of tall. I don't like the way that looks. To me, where your tour pack goes, it's perfect.
Thanks a lot, Howie Rides.
Yeah, thanks for checking it out.
Yep, and see you later, Des. I'm losing track of the side chat, man. There's something to storytelling that not everybody has, and I gotta say, you've got the storytelling down, man. Yeah. You got such an engaging story. I'm staring at the screen like, what's he gonna say next?
Yeah.
What they do in the golf cart in the country club parking lot.
The boys from Oklahoma who we met down at Twisted Sisters can tell you the storytelling gets better as the more the whiskey flows. And so unedited Jack is even more entertaining than edited Jack sometimes.
That's what Travis, My Done Life, that's what he'll tell you. He goes, John from Road Reality, he's the same as on his videos, just unfiltered in person. And it gets even worse. We do have a question from Dewey, my buddy Dewey down in Columbia. Would you be doing these big rides, Jack, if you didn't have the YouTube channel?
Well, you know, I don't know, because I literally started my YouTube channel the same time I started riding motorcycles, basically. But I've said on some of my videos, Dewey, that, well, like, for example, when we went down to the Cruzy Blockhead Biker Build-Off, it was calling for rain and it was foggy. You could barely see in front of your motorcycle. You know, this camping trip was the weather changed after we made the plans, and it was going to be 23 degrees. I said, who in the hell goes tent camping 20? Those are a couple examples of trips that I probably would have said, you know, let's not do that. But like the Cruzy Blockhead deal, the weather cleared off by the time we got down there, and it ended up being a fantastic day. And we talked about that very thing is, you know, we probably wouldn't have done this had I not had the channel and know that it would make good content, but I'm glad we did. So it's actually forcing me to do more things that I probably would make excuses to say, nah, I don't feel like it today or whatever. But like Sturgis, if I was riding motorcycles, I mean, I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Sturgis, and I probably would either way. But I'd say absolutely there's some parts of that. I still don't really know the full story of how Dewey's gone for like 2 years and does what he does. But it's fascinating to me that he's down there doing all that stuff.
Oh,
I wish
man.
that's like if I could just get away from everything, I would love to just do that. And maybe one day I will, but it's like a dream to me. I love South America, and there's stories that I can't tell on this in this format that my wife is Mexican. That's not South America, but the Latin culture, being in Texas, all that stuff is a big part of our lives. I used to go to Brazil, used to go to Costa Rica all the time for business, and I love the culture and everything about them. Southern Brazil is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. And so, yeah, I don't know. Quickly, do you have the 2 minute? How long has Dewey been riding, and how does he just get away like that?
So the Dewey ride story, and I'll post a link in the side chat to his channel soon. Dewey went to Alaska from Oregon about 9 years ago now. And he decided he wanted to do the Oregon to the southern tip of South America to finish that trip. So he started planning 8 years in advance, bought a bike, took it apart, nut and bolt, replaced all the screws and bolts with Allen's keys so his toolkit would be lighter. I mean, that level of detail, planned it out, did all the logistics, saved up his money, and then started his trip. So he's got about 18 to 24 months, give or take, that he can be away from work, and it's fully funded.
Did you put Dewey's channel in here? Because some of my folks, or I say my folks, I don't mean, but some of my viewers, you go check out Dewey, man. It's just fascinating. I think he does a really good job with it too. Yeah, and Charlie and Jerry are saying #gaggle. Yeah, that's another thing we can't talk about publicly. Nothing illegal, but just, you know.
Yeah, I just posted Dewey's channel in the side chat. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. The guy's doing a great job of showing all the scenery of Central and South America, and
he does a great job of narrating it and just telling it. I like telling a story, and Dewey does a great job of telling a story in a different way than I do, but very effective. And I was going to say this earlier. I think maybe even before we were live, John, when we were talking about getting people to watch and then keeping them watching, I would probably do better if I made 8-minute videos, because that's about how long the average, what people watch. But I can't tell a story of a day's ride in 8 minutes. So I just don't even worry about that, and
okay. So the side topic, you just said something very interesting, because the average length of your video is about 20 minutes, I want to say 17 to 20.
I think the average is probably 17. I'm okay with, I used to try to stop it at 15, but again, some of the channels that I like, Thrashing, $1 Million Bogan, they're making 30, 40-minute videos. I just decided I'm going to shoot for 15, but I'm okay with 25 or 30 on the rare occasion. But yeah, okay. I would say the average is maybe 17 or something, 20.
So out of 17 minutes, the average viewer watches 8 minutes of it.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. So the rule in YouTube, or the goal, the metric of average view duration is how long the average viewer is watching your video. And it's a percentage and a time thing. But to get to that level, so 8 into 17 is about 45%. You're 15% above what people would consider a good video. 30% is considered good.
Are you kidding me? I thought it was terrible. I thought
No,
really I could look on my but yeah,
no,
it's
30% is considered good. 50% will just about guarantee you a push from YouTube that it'll send it out to more, it'll show your thumbnail to more viewers, give you more impressions and chances to earn the click. So yeah, that's
no.
yeah, you're doing phenomenal.
Oh, I didn't know. No. Well, that's good to know. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't even get those levels.
You know, Jerry on here, well, he just commented something similar, but one of his comments on one of my last videos was, you know, it's a good video when it's a 17-minute video and it's over and you felt like it was 5 and you're wanting more, all that stuff. So that's a great compliment that I get from.
Yeah, JVZ agrees.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had, you know, I watched some guy, he's up in Nova Scotia, and he does the walk and talking head videos. I don't remember his name, but he's a fairly large channel. But he said, he said, don't expect your friends and family to be watching. He said, if you try to get your friends and family to watch, they're going to watch because they want to support you, but then they're really not going to come back, and it messes up your whole algorithm. He explained it much better than that, but I think that is true. It's not like I don't get overwhelmed with praise from my friends and family that watch, although there has been a lot of folks that I know that have bought motorcycles recently. I say a lot. There's 5 in the last month that have told me, if it wasn't for your channel, I wasn't ever going to buy a motorcycle again. Wow. Because they're so entertained by it. So that's cool as hell. I mean, that's just, you know,
that's powerful.
Really cool. Yeah.
That's really powerful. So I have a funny story then. You'll like this. Talking about friends and family watching your videos. But Jack's right. The bigs all say, don't share them with your friends and family. You want normies, or you want outside people to watch them, because that's going to be a better metric for you. But I know that my mom watches my videos. A couple of years ago, I made a right at an intersection, and I just blurted out, there's so many fluids on the road, it's like a bordello after midnight. And I kid you not, I released that video, and the next day my mom came over to see the kids or whatever, and she walks in and she gives me this big high five, and she goes, that was the funniest damn bordello joke I ever heard. I was like, oh, I forgot my mom watched.
Yes. Well, I got a similar story. My mom watches too, and Jason, who's on our channel, who put the cam in his Street Glide, and it sounds great. Anyway, his mom watches too, and we grew up, you know, I know her, and I do a podcast type style interview called Between the Bikes, where I interview the Rusty Bolts, and I'm going to start doing other people. So, John, if you ever get to Texas, we'll have you on Between the Bikes. But Jason was on there, and I said, are we going to talk about, or he said, are you going to tell him the story when you left me at a crack house? And that's like when we were like 19 years old. We didn't intentionally go to a crack house, but anyway, but I can assure you, I got a call from both his mother and my mother going, what are you talking about crack? Nothing. And I promise it's not as bad as it sounds. So yes, I'm always conscious of that. And frankly, I've started bleeping. We don't cuss a lot on the channel, but I just started bleeping them all out pretty much because of that, because I know the mothers don't like the foul language. So,
you know, it's funny. Early on in my YouTube career, I got several comments from people saying that they watched with their kids and they watched with their grandkids. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if I'm going to curse, it better be bleeped out then. So
yeah,
I totally agree with, man. It's just, and you know, you can do funny things with the sound effects there. Cause like when I rode with my wife a couple of years ago, she curses like a sailor at a bar. And like, it took me an hour and a half just to bleep out her curse words. So I put a duck in instead of her, so people could tell who was cussing.
Yeah. Yeah, the bleeps do. We took an older friend of ours who can't see very well anymore. Well, we went and picked him up, and he rode on the back of my brother's bike and we took him to his favorite motorcycle bar. We had lunch and all that stuff, and he cusses like a sailor. But that makes it funnier when like literally every other word I'm just bleeping. You know, that there's comedy in that, in the bleeps too. it's funnier, I think, when you bleep them all than just leaving them all in there, and people be offended by it.
Yeah. So this snake video, this is going to be great. I'm glad Jarvis is bleeping it out because I forgot for most of our VAM weekend this year that Jarvis and I were on comms like 85% of the time.
Yeah.
And we're riding the snake. It's 421 down in Tennessee and that area. And apparently I was cursing quite a bit that day. So it was pretty bad that that's gonna be a video to check out. I hope he
And
gets it out.
Wayne's recording all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know how he does all that stuff, but he catches all that audio.
He goes through all that footage and he watches through everything and then eventually has a video come out. And it's always a nice chill ride. That guy he's got to be the most even-keeled person I've ever met.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely the Perry to my $1 Million Bogan.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, Travis, I don't know what to say. Your wife doesn't like me very much. She was not impressed with my sense of humor. Yeah, Dewey, 6 months it took Jarvis to bleep it all out. Yeah. So Jarvis forgot his cameras when he came down from Canada for the VAM trip. He only had his 360 cam. That was the only one he brought. So he's making do with what he had. I did, for the record, I did offer to lend him a spare camera I brought, but he declined.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pleading the fifth? Well, we'll drink the fifth, right?
There you go.
Got to stay hydrated doing this, right?
For sure.
So what do you got in the works other than doing the comfort dyno, the comfy dyno?
Yeah. Well, probably there's several events and stuff down here close, but the next biggest thing I have, and I haven't confirmed it yet, I was planning a solo trip to Virginia, and I was going to actually talk to several of you on here. I have a work event in Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia in the first part of June. And so I have 3 or 4 days on the front end of that. And then right after that is Traveling Tall's Run to the Hills 5 in Knoxville, and it would be right on my way back. So my intention was to do a solo trip to Virginia and make my way there and stop, maybe meet some folks, and then do my work event, and then ride back, Traveling Tall, and then back to Texas. But Road Wang, who rides with us, he messaged me after my live the other night, and he said he's interested in going, and I might get another Rusty Bolt or two to join. So that and Sturgis, and then our Twisted in Texas, which maybe we can talk about before we get off here, event in the fall, are kind of the three big things. There's so many things. I'd love to come to VAM. I'd love to do Daytona. But man, I got a real job and I don't have an unlimited bank account. So it's hard to make, you plan a couple of big trips and then little stuff here and there. It takes up the year pretty quickly.
You know what? It certainly does. And the funds aren't unlimited over here either, despite my camera collection. I can't afford to travel anywhere. Yeah. I did just look it up, and if you're in Williamsburg, you're going to be about 3 hours south of me. So we might have to do that because 3 hours is doable for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3 hours at highway speed. So I don't know what that equates to at 35 miles an hour, but
yeah,
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Travis says VAM is all about meeting special group of people. Yeah, they're special. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I got nothing bad to say about the VAM crew. They put on a heck of a rally or event, and it is a lot of fun. If anybody's in the area of Southern Virginia in July, it's well worth checking out. It's the same weekend as Gettysburg.
Okay. And
Dewey popped in. Look at this. He's going to be headed back to the U.S. from Mexico in June. Ooh.
Well, Dewey, you're going to have to go through Texas. Well, you don't have to, but I guess you got one of those states. But if you're ever through Texas, give me a shout.
There you go. Look at that. We got people meeting people here. I'm glad that you have plans for 2025, though, because I have like 5 day trips that I want to do and a couple of overnights, and that's it.
Yeah.
and I can't schedule anything past next weekend at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you got small kids. My kids are just out of college and one in college, and so I got probably more free time than you do.
yeah, my free time is all 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah, well, me and you both. Yeah, I noticed when we were messaging that you're not a go to bed early guy either. I go to bed late and get up early and can't sleep and pee 3 times and all the stuff of being 50 years old. I've become the person I used to make fun of. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, are you eyeing up a new set of white New Balances for this coming spring?
Yeah, with the blue lace leather pleather New Balances.
Oh yeah, got to have a fresh set to turn green with the mower,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh man.
But VAM sounds like, I don't know the details of VAM, but we have an event. We're calling it Twisted in Texas, and it's down at the Twisted Sisters, which is the kind of one of the famous motorcycle destination rides in Texas. And last year, Kelly B. Gliding and I put together a ride. So we had folks, and some of them are on this chat, that met us down there, and we put it together maybe 3 weeks before, and we had 100 bikes show up, 100 people in attendance to meet us. And Wayne rode all the way down from Canada to meet us and ride. So we're going to do that again. It's called Twisted in Texas, and it's similar to VAM. I think it's not like a rally, but it's just a ride with friends is what we're calling it.
I love it. I think it's great, and the fact that you just started 3 weeks planning and got over 100 bikes. I mean, that's crazy.
I know.
I think VAM gets 40 to 50 people that show up.
Okay.
But they ride the back of the dragon, and that's a different kind of animal, man. I'm used to roads where you go up a slight incline and you level out, and then you turn, and then you go straight for a while. And this is like, no, we're going to have you do a hairpin at a 30-degree incline, and then another hairpin going down the hill, and oh man, it's like 3,000 feet of elevation change.
Yeah. Well, Kelly B has ridden the tail of the dragon, and he said the Twisted Sisters is very comparable to that. It's it ain't no joke. I mean, you better be paying attention. But we learned a lot from the first ride, and we expect, given this much notice, that we might have double that or more. And so we're going to do it a little bit differently. But we're going to have a couple of events, and we'll have some music. Music is a big part of my channel because my brother's a singer-songwriter. He wrote the Bogey Biker song, which we get a lot of. I can't tell you how many people tell me I can't get that damn song out of my head. That's a pretty good compliment to a songwriter. And my brother is the songwriter and the singer. So we'll have some plan is to have some music type events. And again, but it's just a ride with friends. And that's the best part of this whole deal. Charlie was on here. I met Charlie. He rode down with me to that. Charlie and his buddy have come to a couple of our events that my brother was playing at. Of course, the Oklahoma boys, Terry and Carol Jarvis was there. So meeting all these people, man, that you never would have met without riding a motorcycle or doing YouTube. It's just been the greatest. They've got lifelong friends from it, and will continue to do so. And I look forward to meeting you, John, and lots of folks. It's just great.
Williamsburg in June sounds like a plan. I'll pencil it in.
Yeah,
that's what I could do. They don't allow me to write in permanent ink.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, big question of the day. When am I going to convert you to using DaVinci Resolve to edit your videos?
Well, I would have been an easy, and I would have been an easy catch the day that I woke up and didn't realize that TikTok was my editing software was owned by the same people that own TikTok, and it was banned in the US, and I had a video to get out the next day. So I may investigate DaVinci Resolve. I really like doing it on my phone. I know that sounds crazy, but like I said, I don't know that anybody, and be honest, if I didn't tell you I was editing on my phone, do you think you would have known? I don't think my editing suffers from it. And I know a lot of people, I mean, hell, I got to wear reading glasses, but a lot of people, maybe that small screen would be would prohibit them from doing that. But I really like editing on my phone, but I haven't really tried to do it on the computer. So I would say maybe if we ever do get that, I'd like you to show me. It just seems so complicated. But I will say, when I've tried to show like my brother how I edit on my phone, he looks at it, he goes, that seems so complicated. So I know it's just because I don't know. I don't know about it. And editing on the computer just seems so cumbersome to me. I can just do it so fast on my phone, but I would like to do it, because that's not an app, right? That's a software that you buy. So they can't just cancel that and you just be out in the, I literally had to scramble and edit a video the next day or that night that I edited on iMovie, which I'd never used before. And I put the movie out, and that sucker's got 7,000 views right now, a week or so later. And so does it really matter what editing software you use? I don't know.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But there's a lot to unpack in what you just said. One, no, until you were announced as a guest host on the Support Bikers Content Creators Workshop, I had no idea you used your phone. I was like, oh, I figure he's using Filmora or one of the other editing packages. And I totally get that it's easier on the phone, but when you wear a half helmet like me and you want your audio at a certain level, I don't know of any phone app that gives you the ability to do the post-processing that I do with my software, or with Resolve rather. But I will tell you, Resolve has a free version, so you can try it out, get used to it, and convert. Ty from Tennessee, if he's still in the side chat, he's a recent Resolve convert. Yeah. I got him linked up with my second channel, and he's been editing all his latest videos in Resolve and doing a good job of it.
I know he has. Yes, Jerry, CapCut is available on the computer, and I tried it. I just shot some fake footage one time and tried it, and I got frustrated and didn't do it. But yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about with the audio, whatever you said. But I will say, some of the channels I watch, their audio is all over the place. Like, it's loud and then it's quiet and it's loud. And to me, that's the worst thing you could do. The favorite thing I discovered on CapCut was once I get it all edited, I clip in a lot of YouTube clips. Once I get all that in there, there's a way to make all the audio the same noise level, which I like. And it's just a simple click of a button. So I'm sure it's much more involved what you're doing, and your audio is better, but I do like that part of it.
Well, the technical term for what you just described is audio normalization, where it brings down the highs and brings up the lows. So your loud stuff and your quiet stuff is all roughly the same level. And it does leveling between music and voice tracks. So everything's the right levels. I have a plugin for Resolve that does all that stuff for me. And the audio processing for me is basically an extra bit of software that I installed that takes my audio and isolates the voice, and it brings down the background noise by whatever percentage that I set. So it's really easy to do. And then once I set it up, I just save that as a preset. And every time I create a motovlog, I just say, I'm making a motovlog, and it knows what to do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's total game changer.
Okay. Easy Living is in the side chat. He's one of the guys I met at the Full Throttle in Sturgis, and him and his buddies, they called it the Wild Hogs deal. They rode from Maine to Sturgis, I think out to California, and anyway, they did a whole cross country trip last year, and it was fun watching them on Facebook. But I got to meet him in Sturgis. So anyway,
that's awesome. I love how it brings everybody together.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are nerdy, Dewey's explaining it the nerdy way.
Yeah. So, John, are you like a IT guy? I know Ty from Tennessee is an IT guy.
Yeah.
Like, so this stuff. Are you an IT person too?
I am. Yeah.
See, that makes it easier. See, me and IT people, like, I'm a salesperson, and I've been in charge of sales, and usually the IT people hate my guts because they'll start talking all this shit. I'm like, or stuff. Sorry, and they'll be like, they say all the stuff you just said. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to simplify this for me. So I'm just not that smart with all that stuff. So being an IT guy helped. And Ty from Tennessee had one of the funniest lines I've heard when he bought some thrash and supply stuff on one of his last videos, and he stripped the first bolt or something. He goes, "I'm sorry, honey, you married an IT person, not a mechanic. You knew what you were getting," or something like that. Because I'm very much like that. I usually make things worse when I start working on them.
I just tell people I've stripped more bolts than Destiny, who's up next on the stage.
Welcome Destiny to the main stage.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm not mechanically inclined, and like my kid about 3 weeks ago, my wife went into the toolbox to get a screwdriver or something, and there's an adjustable wrench in there, the little dial on it, and the whole tooth of it's broken off, and it's made of cheap metal, whatever. But I was tightening a bolt on my Vulcan 800 one night with it, and I was like, it just needs a little bit more, and I put one more Ugga Dugga on it, and that thing snapped.
Oh,
and my kid found that, and he's like, "Dad, what happened to this wrench?" And I said, "That wrench messed with me."
Yeah.
Do you want to do your chores or not? And he's like, "Yes, sir. I'm going to go do them right now."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we like that too. So we're at the top of the hour. We are with Bogey Biker. Anybody that joined recently, my buddy Jack over here, down from the great state of Texas, and he's in here telling us all about his YouTube and his motorcycling and everything else. And since we've been on for an hour, Jack, I'm going to ask you in front of everybody so that your answer is completely truthful.
Okay.
Do we want to open this up to anybody in the side chat that wants to come on screen and join us?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
All right.
Do it to it.
I'm going to go ahead and find a way to post a link because I'm an IT guy that can't figure this stuff out. So, yep.
Dewey's mentioned something about Ty's accent. I don't think Ty has an accent at all.
He does. Oh, he's got a thick accent. Are you kidding me? I mean, no offense, Ty, but your accent's noticeable. That's how I got on with the doctor, remember? Oh, yeah. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. This is what happens. This is my life.
What happens when you hadn't had whiskey in months. Yeah.
This is why I do like 17 takes of everything and then spend hours editing it all together. If you ever notice, I have a ton of jump cuts in my videos. It's me trying to get words to string together to make a sentence. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I hear you.
Dude, it's hard. When I first started motovlogging, I started doing a bunch of videos and I was like, wait a minute, this is taking me like 7 hours per video to edit because I flub in a line, and I quickly realized that you can just cut stuff out. You don't have to start and stop the recording every time.
Oh, that's so funny you said that, because I remember being in my shop the first time and talking to a camera. You feel like the biggest idiot. The first time I did it, I would start talking. I'd mess up. Then I'd stop the camera. I'd find the deal. I'd delete the footage, and then I'd go again. And it took me like all day to just even get out of my shop. And yeah, once you realize it takes a second to just get rid of all that stuff, but it is an acquired talent. Like, you have to just do it, and then once you do, you kind of figure it out. But yeah, it's not easy talking to that camera in the beginning, for sure.
I tell you two things about that. One is I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, how do I make this easier? And he goes, well, just print out somebody's picture and put it on like a popsicle stick behind your camera and then pretend you're talking to your friend.
Yeah.
I didn't actually have to go through all that rigmarole, but I did in my head pretend it was a friend of mine I was talking to, which made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
My done life, 8 hours of listening to yourself talking.
Yes. That's when I realized I sound like Gomer Pyle sometime when I'm talking loud, when I'm editing myself for 8 hours going, golly, you sound like a redneck, you sound like Gomer Pyle. So yes, the editing took a while to get used to hearing my own voice.
A country bumpkin, if you will.
Yeah.
The other one was I was trying to film the outro to a video, and I had the bike behind me. I was standing on the ramp to my trailer, and all I wanted to do was say, and if you like this video, you're going to like this one up here. And you notice that without even thinking, I point to this corner now. Right. But I walked out to the trailer to film this little clip, brought the GoPro back in, downloaded the footage. Crap, I was pointing the wrong way. It took me like 9 tries to get that right before I pointed up there to where the info card was going to be. Yeah. And like, oh my God, this is killing me. Oh, it took so long. Yeah, Dewey doesn't talk to the camera, and I get on his case about it. So
Yeah.
on your phone, and GoPros can be the same way. If you've got a GoPro with a preview screen, the lens, the camera lens is up. Whoa, it's up there.
Yes.
But people look at the preview screen, and so their eyes aren't looking at the camera like I am now. They're looking somewhere else, and that's one of those things that you can really get viewers engaged with.
In the phone, it's harder to do. With an iPhone, there's a little green light, but I notice people do that all the time. Even like Pro Monkey, he's looking at himself in the phone instead of looking where he's supposed to be looking. But I know I don't even look at myself. I don't want to look at myself. I've learned, but I know that's one of the first things I notice if people are looking where they're supposed to be looking or they're watching themselves, and you can tell the ones that are watching themselves.
I like looking at myself. I'm a very handsome gentleman.
Yeah, you got a good haircut there.
Did it myself.
Yeah.
I got mad the other day, and I was like, you know what? The beard is just it's too long, and I needed a haircut because my ball caps weren't fitting my head right. And I was like, yeah, there we go, done.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna welcome up to the stage our good friend from Canada, Destiny.
All right. How you doing, eh?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah, bring your volume up just a tad, Jarvis.
How's that?
Much better.
Yeah, but of course, I knew he'd have a microphone. I knew his audio would sound way better than mine. I knew it. Look at that.
Except for my next video of the snake, because John's Bluetooth didn't have noise suppression on it. So the wind noise. So to cut it all out, it took me 3 weeks of editing to get it. So it was half decent. It was awful. But.
And Dewey, look, as soon as he hopped in the stage backstage green room, I brought him in. Okay.
A boot.
Yeah, the flippy haircut. I wish it's a set of dog clippers. Yeah,
my wife is a barber. My wife is a barber, so she makes me have my hair longer. I would probably have it like yours, John, but
I'm lazy. I can't be bothered to deal with all that.
Right down to the wood.
Oh yeah, dude. Last winter, remember it got like down to like here. And it was ridiculous. My wife looked at me and she goes, "You've got more hair care products than I do." Because I got the beard balm and the product to shape it and all the combs and brushes.
And then when you're riding down the road, it's like this.
Oh, dude. So I put the product in my hair in April when Jarvis came to town, and I had the whole thing sculpted when I left my house. And by the time I got to where he was camping, it was out like this, and it was stuck like this for the rest of the day.
So he's trying to eat Chick-fil-A with a beard in front of him.
Yeah.
I had a built-in strainer.
Wayne, you got to come back down to Texas. No, you just come in the winter. I don't even know. I can't even get a microphone.
Okay, so it's the exchange rate right now for Canada to U.S. dollar is $1.40, almost $1.48.
Well, that should go away when y'all become the 51st state.
Well, that's. Hey, John, would I go for that?
I do believe you would, sir.
I know you.
Money at par and all that jazz going on. So
only if you could keep his government pension.
What's that?
Only if you could keep your government pension.
Well, if we become the 51st state, it all comes with us, doesn't it?
I don't know. I think Washington will just take it and put it in their coffers and call it good.
Yeah. On that pillaging scenario, is that what we're going with?
Yeah, pretty much. Travis wants you to move to the U.S. I think he's got an open room at his house.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd be down there right now if I didn't have somebody else here.
What's up, Unchained? Oh, your wife would come down with you.
No, she won't. She won't leave her little boy. So.
That's a shame. You have to convince her. Bring the whole family with you.
Actually, I've got I voted in Ohio sticker for those mentioning.
Brian, I did say no politics. We're not talking left or right, but Canada becoming the 51st state, that's bipartisan.
I thought everybody that came in just across the border got to vote. I just figured I'd do it too. So
that's the way it's been, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're not gonna go any further than that, okay,
Yeah.
Jarvis?
Yeah.
And retired rider, I don't know where your notification was. It was lost in the ether. I would apologize for it, but it's not my fault this time.
Yeah.
I'm married with small kids. It's always my fault for everything.
Yeah.
So you guys, look at this. We got a street glide guy and 2 road glide guys. I mean,
Very beautiful road glides, by the way.
Limiteds. Yeah. Same
Yeah.
they
year.
are, but they don't
Gauntlet
have the
gray.
117. You guys got 114s.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Stage
That
one.
117 is slick, I gotta say.
Well, you got stage 2, don't you, Jack, or stage 1?
I don't know, Wayne, because I bought it and it had, I think it's a stage. I've been told it's a stage. Well, stage 2 is a cam, right?
Right.
So I think it's just a stage 1.
Oh, okay.
But
Because
I
mine's a
haven't-
stage
Zero.
1. Mine's just Reinhardt's and air filter. That's all that's been done to mine.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll get up against somebody with a 117. We'll have to see how that
Have you been tempted? Have you been tempted by the new motorcycles?
I
Wayne?
love my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got, oh, shoot.
What's up,
Oh,
Motobomb?
I've got over 80,000 miles on that bike already.
Oh, I believe it.
Really?
You ride.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still telling people you got 60,000 miles on it.
No, it's up there.
I bet Jarvis is up there in Canada and he's parked the rear wheel on a treadmill and just let it idle and putt all day long.
Nope. No, but that, having the toy hauler and coming down like in the spring when it's still icy up here, it adds miles. Like once you get down there and you get like I put a lot of miles on down there. Like when I did the one trip, well, in April, Linda and I did the whole month of April. We traveled all around, rode in Texas and Tennessee and Alabama, North Carolina, Maryland with you, John.
Yeah, 5
And
whole
then-
miles.
Yeah.
We didn't ride
No,
very
but the other ones, I mean, Patrick took us up on the Blue Ridge and up on the Rattler, which I heard doesn't exist anymore after the storm.
I don't know.
I can't believe Patrick's not on here.
Patrick is not feeling well. I was talking to him earlier today.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
hope he
Andy
gets-
wants to know when I'm going to change to a road glide, though. And I don't know. The new bike is very tempting. Like you saw in the video, I really like that screen on it and the rider modes and stuff. So I don't know. It's going to take some tinkering on my part and maybe some cajoling of the wife.
Well, you ride 1,000 miles behind my pretty bike, and you gotta want. You gotta want after
Nothing
that.
but struggle. You struggled every time the wind blew from the side. Jarvis's
No.
bike is flying across the lane.
No, it didn't. That was because of
did.
that big sail I had on the back.
All right, potatoes, tomatoes. He had
Yeah.
like a tour pack on a rucksack in the back.
No, I had that 03 whatever big cooler box on the back. But it's waterproof, so I don't give a shit if it rains. My clothes are all dry.
There you go.
That's the thing I like about that thing.
Travis, I kind of like the trike, but it rode rough. It was not a smooth ride, and I didn't like that front end. Felt like it was pushing all the time. The front tire kept feeling like it was sliding.
I think the trikes, the rear suspension's probably a little bit stiffer just because you got that huge storage area under there. Like you could put a lot of weight in that bike.
I
So
guess.
they probably jack it up a little bit.
I don't know. But Jarvis, you got a question. How long did it take you to put 80K on your bike?
I bought that bike July 16th of 2021.
So 3 years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Am
Yeah,
I the
we
one
ride-
that's going?
Like I've come home from work and Linda's dressed, ready to go out on the bike with her helmet in her hand. Like we're out on it all the time. And then I do all the big trips, and we went to Laconia, and I went to Pennsylvania, and just then we went down to the Texas thing, and then I've been to VAM three times.
Is there any good bike events up in Canada? We could come see you sometime. That would be fun.
Well, as far as big rides, not, but like right up the road for me, 8 minutes up the road is Port Dover, Ontario, and that's where they have the big Friday the 13th. So any Friday the 13th, there was actually one in December, and there were bikes in Port Dover in December.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Wow.
it was damn cold, and there was probably
Mhm.
100 bikes showed up for that. But usually it's over 100,000 bikes one
Oh, wow.
day, one day.
Oh my God. Wow.
So they take the ball diamond, the ballpark, and the other park down by the school and the arenas, and they have them opened up for camping. So guys will bring their bikes and their toy haulers and their cargo toy haulers and stuff, but most everybody rides.
Mm-hmm.
And usually every time there's a Friday the 13th, I have guests here. So this year it was McStashes came. They were up here doing their Canadian ride. So they came and they stayed here with me, and then the other Canadian guys, Dave and Cav, that I used to do the live stream with, they had them up to their places as well. They ended up back at my place for their second time, and I toured them around to all the roadside attractions. I guess there's a world Korean era submarine, and Jumbo the elephant was killed just up a few hours, like an hour up the road, back in the 1800s. I guess it was a train accident killed the big elephant, circus elephant. And
I saw that in
there's a
McStash's
big
video.
monument about that as well. So, and then there's other stuff around, but I took them on the ride, like the Niagara Parkway, so right along from Fort Erie, so Buffalo, right up to Niagara on the Lake, right through Niagara Falls, and they got to see the falls from a motorcycle, and it's a beautiful route.
Hey Jarvis,
Yeah.
speaking of seeing waterfalls, Jack, you're going to get your chance to ask your questions because it's Dewey Ride.
There he is.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, I'm on my phone, so it's
What's
not.
this?
Are you still in?
A baby
Are you in
face.
Brazil?
I actually got that yesterday. It was really funny. All these security guards here in my apartment complex were getting a good laugh out of this, and I was.
Are you in Brazil?
No, I'm actually in Colombia. I've been here for a while. I fell and broke my ankle. I'm in Pereira.
Okay. How far is that from Cartagena?
From Cartagena, it's a long ways, so it's just a little bit south of Medellin. But it's still in the Cacao Valley. So.
Amazing country.
Yeah.
I was just down there like last year before I retired, right? So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love Colombia. It's amazing. I didn't really plan to be here this long. Obviously, things didn't go exactly as planned, but there'll be a video on that when I get there. But yeah, I'm getting close though, because I have to be out of Colombia on March 12th because I've already extended my visa once because of the broken ankle. So yeah, I think I'm doing 3 more weeks of PT, and then I've got to get myself out of the country one way or the other for at least a little while.
Peg leg.
Yeah.
You need a peg leg.
Yeah. Walking all around.
Wow.
So, for having 13 screws and a plate in my leg and holding it together, I think I'm doing pretty good in a short time. So.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
It sounds awful.
Yeah, it
wasn't. Breaking a foot. I broke my foot like 3 years ago, and it still hurts.
Yeah, no, they told me that it would be probably a year until I'm back to really normal. But I can't stay here for a year, so I'm gonna ride back, but it's gonna kind of change some of the things that I do, because there's just no way that I'm going to be able to do some of the off-road and the remote places and some of the hikes and stuff that I was doing before. That's just not really an option now. So
welcome to my world.
Different. Yeah, it'll be different, but it'll still be good. there'll still be plenty to see.
Dewey's got a broken ankle. He still walks better than I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the gout's done a number on my joints, and I have bad knees and hips and everything else. So I hobble everywhere.
Well, I broke my ankle in high school and didn't know it was broken for 25 years. And so then I've had several surgeries, and that's the reason I limp. Every step I take hurts because I didn't get it fixed when it was your ankle. There's so many parts in there that the ankles are not like knees where they can just replace them. It's
Andy's got us all beat.
yeah. Yeah.
Andy's got us all beat.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the side chat there. So Jerry, if you're coming up here, let me know when you're coming if you're coming through Canada, because you can stay here. I'm like in between Detroit and Buffalo, so you can stay here.
Jerry Garnett.
He will.
Who's J Jeffrey 254? Anybody know?
Yeah, that's my brother's YouTube channel. That my brother's written a lot of music for my channel, and so he just started his YouTube channel, and I actually did a music video on his latest song. So yeah, if y'all like, this is Texas storytelling, finger picking kind of music, really good. If you like listening to the words of music, so yeah, go check him out. Him and I were on a local live show here yesterday, a music type deal, and he played a few songs, and he played one of the songs that he wrote for my channel. So yeah, go check him out if you he's just got a few videos, but we're trying to get him out there. He's gotten so much praise and attention from the music that he's written for my channel that it's kind of spurred him on to kind of maybe try figuring out how to do it more than just playing in your garage, because he's amazing writing a song and then being able to put it to music. We're identical twin brothers, but I'm like Ricky Bobby's dad. I didn't get that organ or bone or whatever it is that he got. So
The wrong boy died. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So,
well, that's all the time we have for Dewey.
Yeah. Oh.
Every time.
Every time, eh?
Every time. That's a long-standing tradition on a Road Reality Live. And I would have done it earlier, but I forgot how. And I haven't done this since July. This is crazy.
Has it been long since we've done a live? Just since you've had me on? Because you like to get Patrick off too when you get.
No, this is the first time I've hosted a live since July.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked up my channel earlier. I was like, oh, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Yeah, Scott, he always comes back. I can't kick Dewey out permanently.
No, you'd get bored with me.
Yeah, well, there's that. I mean, it's hard enough watching your little 8-minute videos.
I know, but I'm terrible at filming. That's what my downfall is. I always think about what I should have filmed like 2 days after I film. I should have the camera for that.
Yeah.
Well, we have both ends of the spectrum here, because we have Jarvis down here that records every second of every ride, and then you have Dewey over there that records 2 minutes out of 6,000 miles.
Yeah.
But in doing that, I catch those, like when the dog runs out in front of you and the deer's jumping over your bike and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Travis caught the deer that almost hit me at VAM in 23.
Yeah.
Jack, that deer was no more than like 8 or 10 feet in front of my bike. And
now, if you guys had it kept up to the rest of us, because we were all pointing out into the field that it was coming.
It was my fault.
I'm slow poke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Scott's right. We do have 2 ends of the hemispheres. Yeah. There you go, Travis. Yeah, that was nuts. That was almost as bad as the bird that came within a couple of feet of hitting the front of my street glide in a recent video.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, that bird was close. Those birds. I had a bird hit my knee once, and that bird.
And no,
Friend of
thank you.
ours had a buzzard hit her in the helmet, but
I rode through a swarm of bees once.
That explains your face.
That wasn't fun.
Dewey, do you talk about like? Do you not? You don't work like, or you just what? How do you do? How do you just go for? I want to be you. Like, what's the secret?
I'm not
You
working
independent?
now.
Yeah.
I saved up for quite a long time. When I decided something I wanted to do, I figured out a rough budget and figured out how much I needed to save every month.
Wow.
As long as I need to. I got to that number, then COVID hit. And so then I ended up with a couple of years longer saving, been able to go for a lot longer than I had initially planned, because then, I'm lucky that for traveling, I'm lucky that, I don't have a family and I live alone. So they being away really easy. I just put everything in a storage unit and left.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and I feel really lucky.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So, Jarvis, are you going to Nova Scotia to that rally?
Which one? What is it? I don't even
G-
know about it. You got to tell me what it is first.
Okay. Well, while you think about that, yes, Jerry, I've been there. And if you're not wearing a helmet and you get hit in the head with a cicada, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right in the forehead, right here. It nailed me. We have an echo.
They're big, cicadas.
I'm gonna mute Bogey for a minute. Is that fixing the echo?
Nope.
I'm muted. Yeah. It's gotta be Dewey. I'm just gonna leave him on mute. He can't unmute himself. I control things.
Yeah.
Right back. Your favorite game, John, in a
Hey, Dewey, you're you sound like you're on a Nokia.
Yeah.
You're chopping up real bad. Yep. That's exactly what Dewey did, Southern Boys Ride. He saved up quite a while.
More disciplined than I am.
Yeah, me too. I got a camera collection to prove it.
Yeah. You want to hear my best? You want to hear my best Canadian joke? Since
yes.
Wayne's here. So this couple from Texas, I probably told you this. I tell this to every Canadian that I meet, but this couple from Texas was taking a tour of North America by train. And they left Texas and they went through Arizona and they went over to California all the way up the West Coast. They get up into Canada and they're going back across, and it's the middle of the night and they fall asleep and they wake up, and the wife looks at her husband and says, they stopped at one of the train stations, and she said, honey, go find out where we are. So the guy gets off the train and walks out to the guy standing there. He said, can you tell me where we are? And the guy said, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. He gets back on the train, goes in. His wife says, well, where are we? He goes, I don't know. The son of a bitch didn't speak English.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Petawawa, Ontario.
Echo, John.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You're still choppy, though.
So JVZ said Wharf Rat Rally in Nova Scotia. Never heard of it, but I'll check it out. But I'm going. I was thinking that if I don't go south of the border this summer, that I'll stay in Canada and go maybe to Nova Scotia. So that might be a possibility. So
yeah, he's sorry about missing out on the rallies, eh?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I've been to Nova Scotia a couple times. What a beautiful place.
Yeah. Yeah, I was out there April.
It's like a whole other country up there.
Late April, I was there last year. Yeah. Yeah. They still had snow.
What is it? What is the weather like where you are right now? Is it just cold?
Right
as hell?
now, it rained all day, and then there's a big snowstorm where everybody's. My sister-in-law, she's stranded at work. She can't get home. So I don't know. My brother's got a big 4x4. I think maybe he'll go rescue her.
Yeah.
So, but it's yeah. I just got my RV. We couldn't bring it back after we got the ramp replaced the whole thing. We rebuilt it, but it was here in Jarvis at my friend's place. But I wanted to get it back to my brother's farm, mainly because there's barn cats there, and they keep it protected from little animals.
Yeah.
So we just got it back home tonight, just like this afternoon. It was just still raining, but the whole week previous, the whole yard at the farm was covered in ice, so I couldn't bring it. It would have jackknifed for sure. So today we decided that we were going to bring it home. So I just got it home, and I got back here and it started snowing just as soon as I got home. So very lucky to get it back where I needed it to be. So
Yeah, we're looking at temps in the 40s, 50s, and 60s over the next week. Rain and snow, but I'm hoping that the rain today washed away enough salt that I can go for a ride.
Yeah.
We're sunshine and 70s for the next 7 days. Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. You got a place that I can park my RV down there?
I do. I got 13
Back
acres.
her in, and we'll just go ride.
Come
Jarvis,
on.
you got room for a second bike in your RV?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Stop in Maryland. Pick me up on the way down.
All right.
We're coming. We're going to invade the great state of Texas.
Come on.
Yeah, you can have all the snow, Andy. I don't want none of it. We had our one snow. I got my snow thrower out. I'm good. It can warm up and be spring now. And Charlie Z is about to get put in timeout.
Easy living, and his name is John also. And he said the wild hogs are riding to Quebec City and the St. Lawrence Seaway to the Gasp and Cabot Trail.
Gaspé.
Gaspé. I don't speak Canadian. Gaspé.
That's French.
Oh, French.
That part's French.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it is behind the bars. Gettysburg and
Seaway to Gaspé, Cabot Trail. See, the Cabot Trail would be good, but I want to ride the Cabot Trail on my V-Strom, not my Harley.
Yeah.
What I was told was they're kind of upgrading the roads, so that like last year there was places where you run into it was all tore up. That guys with really nice Harleys weren't liking the ride because they're getting shit all over their bikes. So I was thinking that I'd take the V-Strom. That's my rat bike for whatever fun I want to have all over their bike. So I was thinking that I'd take the V-Strom. That's my rat bike for whatever fun I want to have all over
You've
their
got
bike.
a heck of an echo.
So I was thinking that I'd take the V-Strom.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, we can hear you.
You gotta mute your YouTube.
Mute my YouTube. Okay.
Yep, we can hear you.
You gotta mute. Mute.
Can you tell me how I do that?
Moot in the boot.
Sounds like you did it.
Yeah, sounds like you got it going.
Okay.
Tell me how I do that.
Nope. So Dewey can tell us all about Harley's on off-road adventures, though, because he met a guy. Was it Andre?
Yeah.
No, Andre was on a V-Strom. It was the other Brazilian, and he rode his Ultra Classic.
I think he had a Road King.
Road King. Yeah, you guys, I don't know the Harleys. Road King, and he did his whole Carretera Austral. He rode from Brazil all the way down there on it. And yeah, and then did the Carretera Austral, which is, 800-mile dirt and gravel road. And he did the entire thing and smile on his face the whole time. It was so great to see him do it, and so fun to see him get to the end.
Leave that one up, John. I want to talk about Alaska. That's Of the two places I've traveled for business, it's Alaska and southern Brazil are my two favorites. I would love one of these days. I'm doing an Alaska trip. That would be that's a big bucket list for me.
Well,
Yeah,
you two
you've got
guys,
to go. It's incredible.
yeah, you should talk to Dewey. He's got all the info.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my info's getting older now, but I don't think it changes that much really. There's kind of like 3 roads in Alaska. You kind of go up and do the triangle, and
You go down the Kenai Peninsula to Homer and all that.
yeah, I did a full loop around Seward to Homer and back when I was in.
Yeah. I've been there.
Stunning, that's incredible.
Yes, it is. I got to take a helicopter ride over the Kenai Peninsula, and it's pretty incredible at Homer.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much.
Have any of you guys ridden up in the Northeast?
I've never ridden in the Northeast. I've been up there a lot, but for work, but I've never ridden in there.
Yeah, I've
I
done
can still hear
New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Where else? New York, Vermont. All of those ones.
Somebody's still got the YouTube video on. I think.
Yeah, I think.
Well, if you're
JVZ.
ever up that way, let me know because I'm up in that area all the time riding.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Hey JVZ, if you're watching the stream on your on another window or whatever, try to mute it or bring the volume down. That's what's creating the echo.
What is it that I got to do?
If you're watching the live stream that you're currently in another
Yep.
window, you have to mute it.
Okay.
Just
Or just
there should be a speaker icon. Go ahead and mute that.
On the phone?
Whatever you're watching it on.
I'm watching on the TV too.
Okay,
Yeah.
mute
Turn
your
the TV down.
Turn the TV.
Yeah, mute the TV then.
I'm watching on the TV too. Okay, hold on.
turn the TV down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Easy Living's is a mainer. I guess.
Now you know. Now you know why I'm not a YouTuber.
That's okay. Hey, there's Ty. Ty's still watching. Tech support with Roy. Yeah, well, Ty's been in my ear on my Instagram feed.
Some of these Yankees, Ty, think you have some of these Yankees think you have an accent, Ty, and I don't hear an accent at all.
Well, Ty ought to
Definitely.
get on the live then and show us his accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jerry wants to know about Toby. Toby announced today he was recently diagnosed with congenital heart failure, I believe it was.
Well, I didn't hear that. I just heard he's going in for open heart surgery. Is that right? Or did I read that wrong?
So he's going to go in and he's got a blockage in his heart. It's 37% larger than it should be. And they're going to go in and see if they can place a stent. And if they can, they'll do that. He'll be out in a couple of days. Otherwise, they have to discharge him and schedule open heart surgery.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
all of our good thoughts will be with Toby as he goes through this. It's
yeah,
not something we wish on anybody, much less a friend.
for sure.
Dewey,
He
on the
did.
other hand, breaks his ankle in Colombia, and we're like, come on,
Yeah.
film it. We need the content.
Be a man. Yeah.
Yeah, but my life was, I mean, my life was never in nature. It's just uncomfortable and difficult, right? There's a night and day difference there.
Yeah, well, we're still very happy that you're healing up quickly, Dewey.
Me too.
I bet. So there, we brought it up, Jerry. You happy? Oh man, look at
Yeah,
this
no.
YouTube motorcycles bringing everybody together.
Exactly. If you guys ever get up in the Massachusetts area, I'm up in that area. So
Talk about accents. Area.
area. Yeah.
It's a wicked pisser riding the roads up there in Boston.
Boston. Yeah, we're
Pop your
about
collar out, take a walk and get a cup of coffee while you have a talk with your best buddy.
Yeah. We can be to Boston in about 30 minutes, but we never go that way. We always go to New Hampshire, Vermont, or Maine, or something like that. We stay away from Boston.
I don't blame you one bit. I stay away from all city centers that I can avoid. And
Yeah.
what's up, Dave's
when I'm in
channel?
Boston, when I'm in Boston, it's literally like we're speaking two different languages. It's just almost two different languages. In
Oh, yeah.
Boston, yeah.
The accents and the dialect are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
try
my.
driving there.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, miserable.
I'm an honorary masshole. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No, we do quite a bit of riding up in the White Mountains, like you said there for Jarvis, and we do the main thing and upstate New York and all that. We've done the camping thing like the Bogey Biker did. Three guys 10 years older than me did 3 trips, 900 miles each, tenting the whole time. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool all up to the mountains.
Did you go to Americade ever?
Yeah, I used to go to Americade. I probably
that's
went
a
there
good one.
about,
Lots of
9
good
years.
riding around there, right up to Lake Placid, around 9N, coming out of Lake George is beautiful riding. Right up into Vermont, up and around the lake, go around Lake George clockwise. That's a really nice ride.
Yeah,
What if you
we've
go
ridden
counterclockwise?
What was that, John?
What if you go counterclockwise, Jarvis?
Nah, it's not any good.
Oh, okay. Roads are different that way, huh?
Well, you got the evening sun in your eyes when you come around.
I also agree with Dave's channel. Australia is on my bucket list. That would be probably Alaska and Australia. If I had to pick two, that'd probably be where I would go. Maybe South America, but I'd love to go to Australia.
Australia is probably the first thing big one I do after I get
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a buddy right out of high school. He worked for a year, big steel mill, and he saved every dime he made, and he jumped on a plane and he flew to Australia and he rode for over a year. Just kept riding until he ran out of money, and then he jumped back on a plane and came home.
Yeah.
So it was quite the experience.
A while till I can do a year again, but we'll see.
Yeah.
How many of you guys this year will be out in Sturgis?
Not me.
I will.
I don't think so this year. I haven't decided whether I'm going to be across the border at all this year much. McStash wants me to go on his 22 and 22 ride, but I'm still on the fence. I'm waiting to see whether the Canadian dollar comes around at all or not. So it's
You're not gonna make it Twisted in Texas 2025.
well, we'll see. We'll have an election by then, so I should have a little better idea. Yeah, dollar should come around by then. Makes a big difference, man. You don't realize it, and then
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
you get hit with the exchange bill. You're like, wow, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Dewey's gonna have that reality when he comes back to the U.S.
Well, yeah, because he's big down there.
I'm not looking forward to it. I've gotten really used to dollar like you do.
You're gonna go right back down there. I bet within 2 or 3 years you'll be back down there.
Yeah, I mean, I like it down here, but there's certainly things about the U.S. I miss. Some things are a little bit more difficult down this way.
You're not looking for a Colombian senorita? That's what I'd be doing if I was single in Colombia.
The Colombian girls are trouble, man. That's the most dangerous thing in this country.
No, I'm aware. Yeah.
Well, Dewey's got a Brazilian.
Yeah, I don't think Colombia would actually be my first choice either. I mean, I really enjoy Colombia to visit, but not for living long term. I don't think it would be my first choice. I think I would pick Ecuador or Argentina. Would probably be
Argentina.
Really?
Yeah, it's what makes Colombia fun. Is there's always people, always stuff happening, always noise. But then it wears on you after a long time too. It's not quite as relaxed as other places.
Yeah. So there's my brother. Looks like he changed his channel was J Jeffrey 254 because when he set it up, he didn't know what he was doing. And it looks like he changed it to J Jeffrey Music. So that's my brother on there. That I'm assuming that's right, Jay. You changed it. But anyway,
Hi, Jay.
No.
Welcome, Jay. We should get him on screen. Send him a link.
He's been drinking whiskey since I left him 5 hours ago. So I'm gonna veto that. We promised to protect each other. We promised to protect each other with stuff like that.
That's a smart call.
Yeah.
I don't sleep my lives.
Jay will say that drunk Jay writes checks that sober Jay can't cash, and we just don't want to.
It's like me when I'm unsupervised.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Patrick. Hey, bud.
Patrick,
Yeah,
I was just saying that I can't believe Patrick is not in here, and they told me you weren't feeling well, so I hope you're feeling better, and thanks for stopping by, but I won't blame you if you go to bed.
Yep. We're all hoping that Patrick feels better tomorrow. He's got 17 videos to record, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think Patrick's scheduled all the way through April with his videos.
Yeah.
With his 3 characters all in the same video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That came up in the workshop a couple weeks ago when Bogey was on. He was like, I can't believe he does this. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know. I'm sure you know how he does it. I don't have a clue how he does it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sure wish I had 3 people to make my videos with. It would make everything a lot easier to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
I can barely run the phone.
You're doing great. You've got the lighting that most people wish I had.
Yeah, I'm up in the attic area, so it's kind of dark. I'm hanging out, so just laid down and chilled.
Yeah, there you go, Patrick. You got to do a workshop on how you do it. Show people behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I still don't. I don't fully understand it. I understand the technical stuff behind it, but the way he lines it up and it just flows from start to finish,
It's very well done.
I can't even talk to myself without stumbling.
So here's the way to do it, Jack. So you do it like you've got a little tiny angel road wang over here and a little devil road wang over here on the other shoulder. Just giving you a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the road wangs going.
Yeah.
Well, Jay's my identical twin, so we just need one more to make 3. So.
Yeah, you've got it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure you get the same haircut and you're halfway there.
Yeah, we usually don't. He's a fireman, so he can't have any facial hair other than mustache. So he's got the porn star mustache because that's all he can do as a fireman. Yeah.
I had a friend of mine like that, and as soon as he left the service of the fire department, he grew out this beard that's like this big, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, most people do. Yeah.
Well, it looks like Patrick's stealing that idea about the angel and the devil. So
yeah.
Yeah, Patrick's going to make it happen. And yep, Andy, you're right. A face for radio and a voice to match. Oh, you guys are great. You're too much. So we're coming up on 2 hours, and I think that's a good stopping point. Does anybody have anything they want to say, Mr. Jack, Bogey Biker?
I just want to say, John, I appreciate you having me on. This is, like I said, getting invited on motorcycle live streams is crazy to me that people want to have me on and see what we're doing and all that stuff. I'm still getting used to all that, but we're having so much fun, and I appreciate everybody. And a lot of my loyal fans are in the side chat, and everywhere I go, they seem to show up, and it wouldn't be near as much fun as if it wasn't for all that. I get all the same people watch. And it's just a blast getting to meet everybody and everybody on here. I appreciate you all joining, and I'm just having the time of my life. And I hope we can all hook up at some point in person and have a drink or share a laugh or whatever it is. This is great.
Well, I want to say thank you very much for coming on. Dewey, do you have anything you want to say?
Thanks for having me on. It's been entertaining listening to you guys. I've enjoyed hearing all about Bogey and getting got into bikes and all that. If you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to all these guys and put that
Yeah,
tape there.
sure.
Yeah.
Viva Colombia.
Yeah, right. Jarvis, any final words?
Yeah, I do. I just want to do a little advertising for Jack. So the Twisted in Texas ride, for anybody that's thinking about going, it's a good time. And it's not the ride, it's the people that showed up. It's the guys out there that watch Jack, and everybody's kind of in the same place. Kind of, it was interesting to just run into all these different guys and talking about where they were from, and to go on the ride. It's a nice ride. It's better than some. It's different. Texas landscape's different, but it's worth going to. So anybody that's on the edge of thinking of going or not, you should go.
I appreciate that, Wayne. Wayne was kind of the star of the show. He rode the furthest, and I was just so appreciative that he came down and took time to do that, and it was a blast. It's different when you meet somebody in person versus just watching a video. And I really enjoyed getting to meet you, and thank you for saying that. Yeah, the ride is kind of like my videos. We're just normal folks just doing normal stuff, and it's more about the people than the motorcycles that we're on, really.
Mm-hmm.
And JVZ, thank you very much for coming on with us. Got any final words?
I sure do. I want to thank all you guys for the content because I enjoy watching everybody and I'm learning, picking up more from everybody. I love to ride. I do a lot of riding, and hopefully I'll get out to some of the events that you guys are gone to. I've gone to quite a few of the areas. I've been all over. I got about 160,000 miles on Harleys. So
Wow.
I've been out and about there and going back out to Sturgis. So I'll hopefully meet up with Bogey Biker there when I'm out there this year again. And
Yeah,
get
I look
to
forward to
ride
that.
them. And yeah, and I definitely, I know Jarvis, you sound like you're riding a lot of the territory I ride in. I'm actually up in the mountains today, up by just up by the Santa's Village area, up in Jefferson area, and up that way. So I'm up that way today, actually.
Right.
But yeah, no, and I say, hey, do the content the way you guys do it. Keep it the real thing that's happening and the real biking and the real. There's good and bad and hard and everything, and that's the kind of content I like to see, the real stuff. So you guys are doing a great job on that. So
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you very much. And guys, stick around for a minute. We'll hang out in the green room for just a minute after I close this out. But I want to thank everybody that showed up both on screen and in the side chat today. I do appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed it and you want to check out any of these channels, I'm going to go ahead and add links in the video description after the live ends. So go check them out. If you like what they're doing, hit the subscribe button, leave them a comment, tell them you said hi, or yeah, something like that. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Don't forget your two mantras. One, you have a 100% track record of making it through a bad day. And two, do something nice for yourself every day. John and the gang out.